I don't know about you guys, but learning to dress myself as a wheelchair user has been, let's say, a journey. When I became a wheelchair user in 2018, I had like this uniform that I would wear a lot, which was a chiffon tank top, some type of blazer, and pants. And here's the thing though, I cannot stand the feeling of chiffon. I genuinely hate it more than anything else. The blazer, I do blame on growing up in the 2010s. But the chiffon was something that I thought covered my plus size fat body. It covered all the bits that I wanted to cover. And it did what I wanted it to, except it made me feel like I wanted to peel my skin off all the time. And I had to wear so many layers to keep myself from feeling the chiffon on my body that it was counterproductive. It was harmful to me. It was exhausting. And through that, I have kind of started practicing not throwing away, but stop buying the fabrics and stop buying the clothes that don't work for my disabled wheelchair using body, and start finding the middle ground where I can wear things that feel good on my body, that also feel good in the way that I look. And a couple months ago, someone asked me to do a video on fashion. I am not a fashion person. I am just a person who lives in a disabled body and has been using a wheelchair for 8 years. So if you're new here, my name is Issa. I'm a disabled writer and advocate. Typically, I talk about disability advocacy and history and culture and things like that. But in today's video, I wanted to talk about some of the outfits that I wear, some advice that I have as a plus size wheelchair user, because so much of the content about wheelchairs and fashions are coming from straight sized wheelchair users, which is so helpful, but there's sometimes some nuance that gets lost for those of us who are not straight sized. So today's video, I'm going to go through a couple different outfits that I wear regularly, and some of the reasons why I picked those items of clothing and how I put them together. Okay, so before starting, there's just some basic things that I think are really helpful, especially as a plus size wheelchair user, to get in the mindset of clothes with a wheelchair that can be difficult. So first things first, I am a plus size person with a belly. Sitting down means that my belly is bigger, which means I need to accommodate the belly, first of all, but also I had to learn how to be okay with my belly. When I was a walking person primarily, I would just get a drapey shirt and I would just cover it up. That really doesn't feel like a great option. First of all, drapey clothes kind of get into my wheels, which I still wear drapey clothes, as you can see. We're going to get to that in just a second. But also it feels like it ruins a lot of outfits. So one of the things that a lot of straight sized people will tell you is to wear crop tops. I would 100% agree, but I especially want to tell you to wear crop tops if you have a belly. And part of that is you're just going to have to sit here for a second. And a lot of times, and I do this for myself all the time, where I will stand in front of a mirror, or I will be in my chair in front of a mirror, and I will just put my hands on my belly and I will just try to work on just being okay with its existence, understanding how it sits in my lap, how my clothes sit on it, that some things are going to show up more than others. I also get things that are going to make me sensory-wise not feel super overwhelmed because my belly gets bigger when I sit down. I like to wear, hi Sophie, I like to wear sweatpants a lot when I'm at home. Or sometimes when I go to school and stuff, but I get oversized. A lot of my pants are oversized to accommodate for my belly. Now my waist has at least a 10-inch difference between my waist and my hips. So I have to do things to kind of make that work for me. But one thing I definitely do here is I like drawstrings, because drawstrings will tie things in, and so I still can they still fit, but I also have plenty of room to comfortably exist in my body while still wearing pants. Now let's quickly talk pants, because they can be a menace. My big challenge is because I get a lot of my pants oversized to accommodate my belly. I do have my sister take a lot of these in. So this has got some elastic in it so it can adjust with me throughout the day. However, this still needs to be taken in more. I probably shouldn't have gotten quite as big, but they were very much on sale. And if you are not someone who needs an oversized thing to accommodate your body, please don't buy without oversized clothing, because that can be really harmful to plus size individuals. But if you are someone, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this, but this is kind of the way that I feel about it, is like if I find oversized clothing and I'm adjusting it because the typical clothing does not work for my body and does not give me the comfort that I am looking for because of the way that my body works in the world and exists, then I don't think it's completely as oversized. It just needs some customization. And I think that's a little bit different than people who buy plus size clothing to turn it completely into a different garment. So that's just my 2 cents on it. The other thing I have, and I don't have the example, is there are pins that you can do that puts clothing together. And it's made for pants to kind of just bring them in like an inch or two. And that can be really helpful. I don't love them because they are, once undone, kind of difficult for me to put back on, especially if I'm getting tired throughout the day, because it's a very tiny, it's like a little, it's like that, where it kind of clasps on like that. And trying to do that like to the side or something, especially when you're like rushing to the next class, to the next thing, can take a lot. So it's a really great thing if I can just set it and go. So I have one pair of pants that I can do that. Otherwise, as much as I can, I try to get my sister to add elastic to the back. I'm probably gonna have to start teaching myself to do that because I don't live with her anymore. So I think underwear is something that gets missed a lot in some of these conversations. It's a little bit difficult to find, especially if you are a plus size wheelchair user. So first things first, I love these underwear. They're ribbed, as you can see there. And you'll notice that a lot of the things that I own have ribbing on them because for me, when I'm looking for like going out clothes especially, I like something with just a little bit of structure to the fabric, but I don't like a lot of fabric feeling. So ribbing gives that softness that I need to not feel uncomfortable, but also gives me the feeling that there's just a little bit of structure in there versus like a normal cotton underwear. And these are high-waisted, which I really like because my pants a lot of times will kind of sag in the back. So I will try to get underwear that's about the same color as my pants. So if I do lean over and like my shirt rides up because of my wheelchair, then it's not super obvious that you're seeing my underwear. The other thing I wear, I've kind of stopped doing underwire bras. I mostly wear sports bras. This is the Power Soft Active, from Old Navy. I really like this one. I wear this one a lot. Again, it's the ribbing. I think it looks nice for bras when you see the texture. Like, yeah, sometimes you'll see this texture, but it also, I don't know. I feel like it just gives it a better look underneath some of my clothes that I have. And I like this because it gives me a little bit of support, but I also know that they don't quite fit right. It gives me a lot of compression, which I don't know if it's a sensory thing that I like about it or if it's just the look, but a lot of other bras, I feel like my boobs are hanging down to my waist, and I have big boobs, so I just need a little bit more support, and this gives me not support as in gonna make them look big, but just it makes me feel like they're not going anywhere. Let's get dressed. Welcome to one of my favorite outfits lately. So this is mostly from Old Navy. So the dress and the shirt. And I have the dress in 3 different colors. I'm a big proponent of like, if I like an item, I like how it fits on me, I like how it feels, especially if I can style it multiple ways, I will buy it in multiple colors. So I have this top in orange and blue, and then I have this dress in tan and black as well. And I'll just swap it out. I'll swap this shirt out for like a puffy sleeved button down in a different color. I might swap it out with like a green puffy sleeve thing I have or a button down. Lots of different options. This is kind of a style that I've been playing with recently with the turtlenecks. I don't know why I've been into it, but I just think this looks really cute. But a couple things I wanted to note is the belt. So I really struggle with getting belts that fit right. Trying to find a good belt's hard. With the way that my body fluctuates throughout the day, it's hard to find one that will like fit throughout the day. It's either too tight or it'll end up being too loose. And so I really like belts like these with the tie. I got a cheap one off of Etsy a while ago. I did invest in this one from, what is it called? Dreamer's Supply Company, with a tax refund that I got. And I'm very happy with it. I'm very excited about having something like this in my closet because I have already started using it a lot. And I can pair it with different things. But the nice thing is because I can adjust it. And if it's getting too loose or if it's getting too tight, I can adjust it throughout the day. And the things that I can adjust throughout the day, the more things I can adjust out throughout the day, the better. The other thing I really like about this skirt in particular is that I don't know what it is. It's like someone who has sewing knowledge. Tell me what this is. But it doesn't come out very far. So this is how it comes on my wheelchair, and it doesn't get dirty. A lot of my other dresses that I have will come out and like get super dirty, and I've just accepted that that's part of life, is wearing things that will get dirty. And I think that's honestly one of my pieces of recommendation, is just your things are going to get dirty, and that you need to kind of pick things that are going to be easier to clean, or are that you're not going to be super distressed. But this is nice. I like the short sleeves. It's a fun like summer option. The other thing I wanted to talk about here are colors. So as someone, and I know this might be old news for some people, but choosing a color palette has been super helpful. I am someone who I've learned, I really love earthy kind of tones, just natural, like, I don't know, I think it's earthy tones, greens, oranges. This shade of blue specifically, I really love, and I think looks really nice on me. Yellows, browns. I don't do a ton of blacks, but I'll do some blacks sometimes. But what I love about it is I have a green wheelchair. This is a military green color. And when I told my person that I wanted military green, he was like, he did not get the vision. He's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yes, I am sure." Because I also have these beautiful covers from Izzy Wheels, and these are also my other covers, and I'll swap them out. And I'll give you a better look on my Izzy Wheels in a minute, but I'll swap them out, not based off of outfit, because I do think that they're a little bit more difficult for me to like put on and off. They're not that hard, but I am a rusher out of the houser. So I have had these on almost pretty much all year, all school year specifically. Last thing I want to note are shoes. These are boots from DSW Warehouse. I don't know what brand they are. Crown Vintage, I guess. They're super comfortable. I don't like laces. I find them difficult, so I don't wear a lot of laces. I do wear a lot of heels. I love heels. That was one of the ways that I celebrated becoming a wheelchair user while I was waiting for my first wheelchair, was I would watch for sales on heels. I really like Torrid for those sales and find things for like $10. And I would slowly buy all of my heels, and I had this huge heel collection, and then I wore that heel collection into the ground. Something that's changed in recent years as an ambulatory wheelchair user is I learned that just because I can wear it in my wheelchair doesn't mean that I want to wear them all the time. So I've gone from like those really thin stiletto type heels, and I didn't ever really wear stilettos exactly, but I have this kitten heel pair that I don't have with me right now that are red, that are really cute, that I love. But even those I don't wear a lot because they get stuck in my wheelchair partly. And then also when I get out of my chair, it's very difficult for me to walk around in them. And it's important to me that I have at least an awareness. I have like my walking shoes and my non-walking shoes. And these are one of those middle ground. Like I can't walk in them long term, but I can get to the bathroom. And that is the big thing. If I can get from my office to the bathroom. This is another example of something that I have worn to teach. I've worn it to my mom's engagement. I've worn it to special, like not formal events, but like meeting people and going out kind of thing. I just think it's super, it looks nice. It's another example of the belt. This is a super stretchy belt. I don't know where I got it. I got it years ago, but I wear this thing so much now, and having like a black and gold belt is super helpful to bring things like this together, because this would not work without some type of belt to cover the waistband, which is like a stretchy waistband, because that's the other thing. Stretchy waistbands in wheelchairs, perfect. I love you. You only do small things wrong, which is look terrible sometimes. And another thing that I've been kind of playing with recently is a nice little slit. With the slit, what I like about it is based off of how I situate my my skirt. So like for my mom's engagement, it was a little bit more situated like this, where it's closed. But if I want, and teaching, it's a little close. But if I'm going out, I want to feel a little, I don't know, daring, I'll situate my skirt. So I'll set it up a little bit higher, and so you can have more of that slit look. And it's just another, like, clothes are out of the way. They're not hindering my ability to move. They feel comfortable. I feel like I could wear this for a long period of time. I like sleeveless, short sleeve options a lot for the most comfort. So I will go with sleeveless a lot. One of the things that I have really loved, and this is not a great suggestion where you can just go to the store and do this, but I love my tattoos. I think that it makes the sleeveless thing feel more comfortable for me. Not because I'm covering my body, but just because I'm decorating it. I don't feel like my arms are bare, but actually I will say my arms do feel more bare now that I have tattoos, because I'm like, I need more. So I have this tattoo, and then this tattoo that I love, House Moving Castle, I got matching with my best friend. And then my teapot are my arm tattoos. They are all some of my favorite, like, accessories to have. And so being able to wear no sleeve just makes me feel, I feel confident to do that. I feel less self-conscious about my arms, and also it gets out of my way. So a lot of this is just learning how can you live with your body, how can you kind of deconstruct some of the internalized fat phobia, how can you deconstruct some of the ableism that is all entwined in there, and make your life as easy as possible and as comfortable as possible. And then I'm a big chunky, like, not chunky necessarily, but like, I like earrings. I like fun earrings. These are my Van Gogh earrings. Anything that have remotely orange in, I love to wear these. Especially my last outfit, which I wish that I had zoomed in for you guys on, because it's so cute. They're so beautiful. Thank you to my best friend who bought them for me. This is one of the things that I will do when I'm feeling a little bit more self-conscious on my tummy, which this definitely is tighter on me. Honestly, I think I go back and forth about getting it a size up, just because I got more true to size for this skirt, and it's just, it's a little shorter than I like it. And this, like, I like the slit, but also the slit feels a little bit too slitty to me. This is my alternative skirt that I wear with this outfit instead, which is the same, like, it's a green, and it changes it up a little bit. The texture of the skirt is a little bit different, but the nice thing about it, I got the slit still. It's longer. It has more forgiveness that I don't feel. The other one I felt constrained. So not only did I felt like I could see my belly more than I sometimes want to, but I also feel it. And that, I think, is where it gets into my head the most about the belly. And versus this, now if I'm walking, I do feel and see it a lot more. And so that is me just actively deconstructing. And sometimes I'm great and able to go out and like, yay, I'm fine. I've worn this without this. I wear this with this. It just depends. The nice thing about having a longer length is technically I can sit like this. I can have my legs together, especially if I'm not wearing super chunky shoes like these. But that's not always how that happens, because it takes a lot of energy to sit like this all day. So sometimes I'll sit like this, and sometimes I'll sit like this. And just because I can sit the other way doesn't mean I need to force my body to sit that way all the time, which means that if I don't want people to look up my skirt, I need to make sure that I'm wearing the appropriate clothing, whether that be shorts or a skirt that covers it a little bit more, because that is my personal comfort level. If you take nothing else from this video, I hope that you ditch whatever is your chiffon tank top, because there's so much in this world talking about plus size clothing that says you need to dress this way because it's flattering. You need to dress to your body type. And I want you to put that aside. That is not what I'm telling you. What I am telling you is you need to dress to whatever your body needs. If you're miserable at the end of the day because the clothes that you wear make you feel miserable on like the way that they feel around your body, they're not good clothes. And there's a lot of deconstructing fat phobia that I think is entwined with deconstructing internalized ableism around fashion, and finding clothes and being inspired by clothes. And it can be really difficult and very trying. But it is a learning process. And for those of us who want to try to shop more ethically, it's hard to play with style and play with things and try out different clothing items without feeling like you're also buying a lot of fast fashion options, or you're buying these really expensive pieces that you don't end up wearing. So things that have helped me transform that, as I take as many pictures as possible about outfits I like, and I will try to take videos. That helps a lot if you really struggle with pictures, because the videos are going to reflect more of what it actually looks like on your body, and you kind of can get to see that movement a little bit more. And Pinterest helps, kind of writing down, paying attention. What are the fabrics that you wear and you're like not noticing throughout the day? That is fantastic. The fabrics that like bring you sensory joy, that is also very helpful. Writing those things down, documenting them, taking pictures of them. So when you're shopping, you can kind of compare and pay attention to those things, and be a little bit more informed in your shopping process. Thank you so much for listening to today's video. I really hope that it was helpful to you guys. And just remember that you guys are beautiful, magnificent people. Take up space with color and texture, and just practice that. Acknowledge that, like, if you are on this body positive, body neutrality journey, and that some days are going to be bad. Some days you're not going to feel great in your body, and that's okay, as much as the wonderful, fantastic, I feel super hot, I feel super great days are. It's about finding balance and giving yourself space to feel your feelings, and also acknowledge that you are still a person deserving of love and beauty and creativity. So using fashion to kind of embrace these things can be really incredible. Love you guys. Have a great day.